I wanted to do the Ramsay round exactly because I didn't know if I could do it. I like going into things where your chances of success are maybe right around the 50% mark. I don't want to try something where I would expect to be able to do it unless there is a disaster, you know, a broken ankle or something. I want to go into it knowing that I have a reasonable shot, but it might not happen. I've just come from Atlanta. I live just outside of Atlanta in the southern US. You've got 24 hours to do the Ramsay round, and it's very likely that it'll take me over 23 hours. I think maybe a lot of my preparation is just having been a runner for a long time. I've been running in the mountains for about 10 years. I do a lot of very long races and also very hilly races. So I think it's just sort of cumulative experience over your lifetime, and it puts you in a better spot to come here and get ready to do this in a short amount of time.
Ramsay's round roughly is about 56 miles with about 28,000 feet of climbing, so that equates to climbing Everest. You've got 10 Munros on the Mamors, there's 5 round Lochaber, there's another 4 or thereabouts on the Grey Corries, then on to the Anachs, and culminating on Ben Nevis, Great Britain's highest mountain. And I just chose to call it Ramsay's Round. One of the good things about the hills, especially the Scottish hills, is they set a challenge. And I think people will pit themselves, their wits, their experience, their expertise against these hills and what the hills will throw at you. So that's how I look at Ramsay's Round. It is a challenge. There are all the elements out there, and you've just got to take them on. And Ramsay's Round is up there with the big challenges. My name's Charlie Ramsay. I'm from Edinburgh. I'm also the guy who set up the Ramsay's Round about nearly 40 years ago. Yeah, looking at the figures, if you go back to the spring of this year, there were only 4 ladies that actually managed to complete the round within 24 hours. And when Alicia came forward and said she was doing it, I was doing back somersaults because I thought this is going to be great.
I'm struggling to give anybody accurate times because I haven't seen that much of the route, but I mean, best guess, yeah, like 10, half 10, that sort of thing. Excellent. Oh, thanks so much. That'll be really good. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. I'm pretty nervous. I haven't really been doing as much training as I thought I would. Lack of fitness could definitely make me fail. But you just have to see. I mean, it's so hard to tell. There have been loads of races where I thought I was completely unfit and then I had a great race. And other races where I thought I was in really good shape and I just did badly. So you kind of just never know. See you guys in the bed?
Yeah.
See you. Alright.
Yeah.
Bye. I think it's really interesting that so few people have done the Ramsay round because there are surely, you know, there's been about 2,000 people who have done the Bob Graham round, which is sort of the English equivalent of the Ramsay round, and there's now just 100 people who have done the Ramsay round, which is surprising to me, but I think part of the issue is that the timing on the Ramsay round is really tight. Like the pace you need to maintain to finish the Ramsay round in under 24 hours is hard. In a race, I would normally be at the front or close to the front. So if that puts me like, you know, barely finishing the Ramsay round. That's maybe part of why it's got a few finishers.
Yeah. Brilliant. How you feeling?
Fine. Absolutely loving Normally, if a race or a run starts to go badly, it happens gradually, but it wasn't quite like that. I was going up Canadier and just abruptly hit a wall, like a very, very solid wall, and had to sit down. That was brutal, and I hope the next one is slightly easier. But yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous out, really good conditions, so things are pretty good.
Yeah, enjoy! Thanks. You're doing really well.
Sometimes if you can act as if you're feeling all right, you can almost convince yourself that you are. So I was trying my best to smile and not look like I was nearing crisis.
She's got to be here sometime soon.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Oh,
How you doing?
I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, go and have some coffee.
Oh, that
How's
sounds good. I don't know if there was a good way down, but I definitely didn't find it if there was.
No, I couldn't see you at all. It's just surprising given your hat. Find some peat bogs.
I found a few. Yeah. Or
Six onwards.
6 onwards.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 6 to sprint finished. Before 7. Okay. Okay. I'm set.
Right.
People will fail for all sorts of reasons. They're maybe not fit enough. They've bitten off, if you like, more than they can chew. The weather has turned against them. They haven't got the support they're looking for. The lack of familiarity of the round, and they've got lost. There's a whole an abundance of reasons as to why people will fail.
Unfortunately, the first try didn't quite end where I was hoping it would end. I made it in distance, about 3/4 of the way around. I was really struggling and decided to come out before the Grey Quarry section. Sometimes it can be hard to know when it's best to stop and when you should push through and keep going. But yesterday was actually a fairly easy decision because I'd been feeling pretty awful for maybe about 5 hours before I stopped, and I was moving pretty slowly, and there was virtually no chance I would finish in 24 hours. I had just decided a few days before that because of the perfect conditions, it might make sense just to try it. I mean,
take a bit of a gamble, see if I managed to finish. But the odd thing is that it wasn't really crucial to finish on that day. I knew that I could come back and try it when I was originally planning to try it. So in some ways that's nice because it takes the pressure off, but on the other hand, you don't have quite as much motivation to get around. I'll definitely try again, yeah. I am hoping that sorting out those problems, the lack of training, the lack of time on the route, will outweigh the fact that I'll probably be going a bit slower due to the conditions. But we'll see.
There is a kindred spirit within the running community in general, and when you hear about somebody, especially a woman, especially a girl and a woman, doing such a huge challenge, I just feel that I want to help and come along, and I know that how much of an infrastructural thing we need to be able to support such a massive challenge.
Do you think the support crew is going to make a difference to it this time?
They'll all definitely really help. It's just whether or not I'm good enough to take advantage of the help they're giving me.
Which way? That way?
Yeah, that way. Yeah. Good question though. That we get good. Oh, right, we're off. We're off? Okay, we're off.
Bye!
How's it going?
Pretty good, it's roasting now.
Brilliant.
Really hot. See you later.
Have a good one! All the best!
I read a race report once. I remember the guy saying something about how everything can either be positive or negative, but if you want to finish that trail, everything needs to be positive. I'm not one for in sort of everyday life saying, oh, you should try to be positive about everything, but I think it does have a place when you're actually in the middle of the run that can help convince your brain that you're doing all right, everything's going to be fine.
So when I heard about this, I thought, I wonder what the shortest stage is that I can come and help on. And I looked at the map and I went, right, I think it's this bit, right? So fingers crossed I'll be able to keep up with her today, and here she is. So
Woo! Hey! Right on time, 5 minutes early. I've had
you're looking great, by the way, you're looking amazing.
There's been some serious food mishaps, I'm absolutely starving.
So I met Alicia last weekend, supporting her friend Megan on the Bob Graham.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
Oh, crikey.
So yeah, I met her standing in the car park at Wasdale, and we got Megan round leg 4 of the Bob, and then Alicia said, we were talking, and I said I'd done the Ramsay round last year, and she said, all right, what are you doing on Friday? I think the right answer was, you're coming to Scotland. Like, once you've done it and you've joined the club and stuff, one of the things you're supposed to do is go out and help other people. And like, the best bit about the day on any round like this is the fact, the fact that you've got loads of people around. It's just really cool.
Experience definitely helps at knowing when you need to push through and being able to do that. Definitely the feeling of getting into a place where you've got support.
See you in Fort William tomorrow.
And only focusing on what you need to do to get back out. Just not thinking at all about, oh, should I stop? Should I go home? Just being able to keep that focus on what do I need to do to get back out on the hill, and then you can almost go on autopilot do it and get back out.
Have I just turned it on?
Oh yeah, no, it's
That? Yeah. That's recording this time. Okay, it's just coming up for 9:30. We're in the Laragleca. Alicia and Tim here making great time coming off the hill. However, there's only so much of Alicia drinking coffee that you can watch, so we'll nice. She does want some more.
It is very good.
Aye. Okay, stop Corrie on the way. Hey Corries, it's Gully on Big, 1:35 in the morning. Here they come. Yeah, well done, Alicia. You alright? We're gonna have to keep moving.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright.
Can I give you that?
What's that?
Water.
Yeah, give me that whole bag. Right. You stand up. Climb up over here. Climb up over here onto the...
Yeah, if we can take your stuff. Okay. End of piece to camera.
Oh man.
Well done.
Thanks so much.
Welcome to the club.
That was great.
It makes us so happy as supporters, as I say, when our runner gets
I know,
there.
I would feel really bad to fail after you guys did all that work. 98% of the time out there, I thought I had no chance. It just didn't seem, like the math didn't add up. The idea that like each section was somehow going to get done in the time it needed to get done, it just seemed totally impossible. It's a difficult thing to put in words. You know, how do you explain that you actually enjoy being out suffering in the wild? It is something about the combination of sort of, I don't know, adverse conditions plus adverse conditions of your own body, if that makes sense. If you combine those two, I think it's a really sort of powerful feeling. I could not have enjoyed myself any more running around these hills. It's for sure one of my favorite places I've ever run.